there, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista back to do your weekly reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aquarius, if you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, there's a link in the description box where you can find out your whole birth chart, and that way if you want additional information for the week, you can always look at your Rising and Moon sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading today. This is for the week of July 4th to the 11th. And I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for the main spread again. I really do appreciate this deck a lot, especially for central spreads. But I might switch it up over time, or if you have a preference, let me know. And of course, it's a 3-card spread with the bottom of the deck energy card for the week, and then additional messages from each of the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine card Tarot. So if you've been watching for the past couple of months, you've noticed that I've been asking for general messages for your sign. Today, I'll be asking, what does your sign need to know? And I'm hoping, even in a general sense, that this is more explicit and specific to what steps you need to take, or what you may be expected to do or to feel, or some of your options around a condition or a situation. So I'll be asking, what does Aquarius need to know? This is still a general reading, so whatever is most prominent in your world, Aquarius, I'll get you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So Aquarius, I wish for you all success, joy, and wellness. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. And I ask that Gaia please bless this reading for Aquarius. All right, so what does Aquarius need to know? What do all my Aquarian viewers need to know this week? So those did turn over, but there was a bit of a clump of them. So I'm going to keep shuffling until we hit one jumper at a time, ideally. What does Aquarius need to know? All right, so your central position card this week, Aquarius, is the action card. This is the Yang. It's actually the first card in the entire deck. Kind of speaks volumes to its energy. But the whole point here is that it's got the energy of the sun, the energy of the number 1, the force field, the action element versus the receptive element. Consider Yang to be the counterbalance to Yin, right? It's actually complementary to receptivity. And it's really important to be receptive at certain times of our lives and in certain situations. Of course, we don't always want to be generating energy and action. But for this week, this is what the cards think you need to know, is that it's time to take some action here. And you are so supported. Look at this. To me, this is basically saying that you have... So let me tell you what's on the cards. So Yang is in the center, a leg up, and the blessed cards are on either side of this. And this is just like pure support. You don't even have to ask twice type thing. And then with the blessed, feeling that you have everything you need, you could even be feeling elevated by the situation, or elevated mentally, psychologically, spiritually, etc., by taking action. Okay? And then the general energy for the week is the Tribe. This is a really cool card for a lot of different reasons, but primarily, and especially with regard to this central spread here, there's an element of ascension here. So if this is you and you're projecting this into the world, you are coming from a place of ascension. You really want to reach whatever that next level is for you. I think in a profound way, not in sort of a video game way, but like in a profound way. You're willing to take things or concepts, etc., to the next level. You're really not showing any fear here, which is beautiful. But it does impact your surroundings, your peer group in general. So not a friendship, for example, but the tribe, the whole group of people. This could be people that you've known for all of your life and you have everything in common with them, but you're recognizing, or on some level you perceive that what that in common has been is that you grew up with them, and the commonalities sort of end there, and that you're kind of a little bit of a different beast, or you have a new tribe to introduce yourself to. For example, this could even be part of what action needs to be taken in terms of what do you need to know. If you are looking for a new tribe, and friendships end and begin all the time, it's not a negative thing, especially if it's done with love and if it's done because both people have done growing in both of those arenas or scenarios. Regardless, this will feel like a group of people. Like I said, if it's a school group, if it's a work group, or even a church or something where there is a group and a familiarity sort of en masse, something that you could even consider once contemplating the term tribe, like something that feels kind of tribal. Like you kind of get each other and you're always there for each other, and you have more shared experiences than not. But this is shifting for you. So in terms of what do you need to know, this may feel very comfortable for you. Um, welcome to the human race. Everyone seeks that type of comfort. Nobody wants to be upset or have things change all the time. However, when it does come time to change, one of the terms that we do use for civilization is the term evolve, and you could just be evolving past this. So we'll look at this a little bit more in just a second. I just wanted to look at the term blessed and of course the colors on the card. So in terms of what do you need to know, I think there might be a shift in your peer group, friendship circle, people that you rely on and who rely on you, and I don't think it's going to be a negative change. Does it look like there needs to be a hurry? Kinda. But the hurry doesn't need to be necessarily in terms of hurry, I just mean action. I don't think here it means that it has to all be done at once. I just think what's going on here is that there needs to be an action. Even if it's a response to somebody. Maybe someone's calling you out on something. Maybe you have an opportunity to tell people what you really think, and you need to take definitive action here to get your point across, to really find out where you belong. Do you belong in this tribe or that tribe, or are you a lone wolf? So just questions around where you belong. Friendships, like I said, these are long-standing positions and accumulated experiences where you could be walking away from it for the highest good. However, it's all about what action are you taking here. And as I just pointed out, I don't think anything has to be quote unquote done in one fell swoop or overnight or anything like that. It just means that you're given an opportunity here to say or to do something to not only introduce your evolved self or the person that you're becoming or have become with relation to that old group dynamic here, but that it could be well received. And the reason I say that is because of both the leg up and the blessed cards. I do think if you are to say anything to this group, or like I said, this is a general reading. If this is about work or travel or something, certainly apply it to that. But regardless, this is high ascension energy here, and you're also coming from a place of awareness and stability. So, and the card's name itself is blessed. I just want to look at some imagery around the curling of her tail underneath, which is, she's closely related to the Capricorn symbol. And its terminology relates to limitations, parentage, calculations, clocks, father time, that type of thing. So anything having to do with Saturn, lessons learned, this type of thing. And then a leg up here is always beautiful to see because it just means general support. In fact, you might even not recognize how much of a support system you have until you begin asking for help or advice or favors, etc. So if that's the case this week for you and you do need advice or input, or even, like I said, if you need to ask a favor or a little bit of help, I think it's going to be readily available to you, and it could be because you've made this move that it's readily available to you. But regardless, you're coming from a higher place and you have an opportunity to really show who you are here to the tribe, your homes, your group. Okay, so let's get additional message cards here for you on top of this general reading, Aquarius. And just to be clear here, I mean, if something is done and said and you sort of shake hands and walk away from it and it's a door closed, I don't think that's going to be the end of the world for you either. It's just that I don't want you to feel as though you're under pressure here to do everything at once or to make a decision all at once. It could even be that some members of the group you can remain friends with or allies with, and others that you can't. So this is a really interesting card. Not surprised to see this, frankly, here, particularly next to an incredibly energetic power #1 Sun card, which is the Yang. We have the card Power, and as always, there are two definitions, I guess, viewpoints, perspectives to look at power. One is power with, and the other is power over. And you'll recognize here that she has the power of speech to create something and the power of her hands to create something. So basically, what do you want to create? What do you want to manifest in the material world? And are you doing it from a place where you are enjoying power with, or creating a power with dynamic versus a power over? I mean, it's one thing to be in control of yourself. It's another thing to try to control other people. I just don't see this being part of your problem this week. I just want to point that out. On the other hand, you may find that if you are an individual who behaves in relationships or peer groups in this element of power with, you might now, for the first time, see the difference between power with and power over, and you're rejecting the power over scenario. And I just mean power with someone else and power over someone else. I think that you understand that intuitively. You know what it's like. You know the difference between someone saying, I'm going to help you, and then secretly thinking, but what are you going to do for me? And the difference between someone saying, I'm going to help you, don't even think twice about, help doing me a favor. That's all it means. It's just who's giving willingly and how much are they giving, and are they doing it out of the goodness of their heart and not expecting anything? Are they doing it and they're sort of keeping tabs? So this is about how you're going to go about projecting this type of decision or conversation or attitude. Like I said, it could even be one or a small feature of a larger conversation you need to have. But ultimately, I think that some action does need to be taken here this week for you, Aquarius. So let's look at one more card and see how this reading finishes off. I think it's generally positive energy here. I don't see anything overarchingly negative. I don't even think, even after you express yourself to this group or this person or persons, that it's going to be met with any angst or anxiety or even, denied. I don't think anyone's going to deny you. I really think that the outcome is, this is pretty typical unless someone were asking you to leave a group, but it will be your decision on how you plan to proceed after you've made this move. Okay, so 3 more shuffles. If we don't get a jumper, I will pull from the center of the deck for you. There's a beautiful card all ready for you. All right. Oh, I actually love this card. Okay, so this is the porcupine, and its keyword is innocence. Holy smokes. Okay. Honestly, Aquarius, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I really truly think that part of your ascension attitude, your evolutionary I would say it's in your DNA. I mean, you're Aquarius, right? Which is its planet is Uranus, and it's all about revolution, sudden shifts and changes. I think this is part of your charm. I think that you're able to get to these places because you're always ready and willing to reinvent yourself. And it's so beautiful because this may not seem possible to you, but it's true that for many people, doing something like this or even contemplating this would give them an aneurysm. Like that would stress them out to want to make changes or, confront something or feel that they're different and work within the power dynamic of, peers and not and control. So I think this is actually part of your winning strategy, frankly, is the ability and willingness to remain innocent through it all. I don't mean innocent as in ignorant. I mean innocent as in you have the best intentions and you really don't mean anyone any harm. So beautiful. I really love this to see this for you. If you have a second, please let me know how this plays out for you. I'm always curious to hear how this works out for you. And if you are not subscribed already, make sure that you subscribe today. I upload videos for your sign every week. So until next time, Aquarius, please take good care of yourself, and I will see you then.